everyone, welcome to Talkin Tigers. I'm Rachel Whittaker. Number 8 LSU will try to grab win number 401 in Tiger Stadium on Saturday against Mississippi State. Here for a final preview now is LSU beat writer Randy Rosetta. Well, Randy, ready for an SEC game finally?
Yes, and you mentioned they're going after win 401, but very much more important is win number 1 in the SEC this season. The SEC West is so stacked that every in-division game is huge, and I think it helps LSU to start with a team within the division and one that is so hungry to beat LSU after losing 14 years in a row.
And LSU's defense, of course, going to be a huge factor. They've been historically dominant this season on all fronts, and of course, conference play, though, a different story. I'm really going to be watching how LSU defends the Bulldogs' third-ranked rushing attack. They've 260 yards a game.
Yeah, and there's a picture of Dak Prescott up there right now, and that's very fitting because State has a lot of weapons. They have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, but he's the focal point. That's going to be the best read option, dual threat guy LSU faces this season. And I know they face Nick Marshall, but I think he's not as big a threat as a passer as Dak Prescott can be. So this is a game that it's incumbent on Daniil Hunter and Jamari Rasco to make sure they play good, solid technique on the ends. The outside linebackers have to make sure they don't fall for any fakes and misdirection. And then the safeties. If LSU winds up playing a little bit of the Mustang package and has an extra defensive back in there or two, it's going to have to be a safety that kind of spies on Dak Prescott because he's a big, strapping young man. He's 6'3", weighs about 240, 250. For a cornerback to kind of focus on trying to take him down one-on-one, you're looking at probably 4 or 5 extra yards as he knocks that guy over and drags down the field. People can kind of remember Cam Newton and Patrick Peterson. Patrick Peterson was a big cornerback. We're talking about small cornerbacks now. So the safeties, the ends, and the outside linebackers, the interior of the defense has got to play their role too, but everything is about the edges this week and keeping Dak Prescott so he doesn't get loose for 15 or 20 yard gains. If he gets 3 or 4 yards here, fine, but don't give up the home run plays.
Right, and LSU offensively, of course, they've got a great running game as well, we all know. Anthony Jennings also really has to hold it together, finding those receivers. Malachi Dupree might get a larger role, Les Miles said, so a lot to watch for. So you have a prediction?
I do have a prediction, and we were speaking before. It's hard for me to fathom LSU giving up a ton of points just because of the way they're playing, but I think Mississippi State is good enough that they will end that scoreless streak. So I see LSU going and getting an early lead, kind of grinding through and winning a game, maybe 24-13. So it's going to look comfortable, but I think that last score comes in the fourth quarter and they finally can exhale. But I think this is going to be a knockdown drag out for 4 quarters.
Right, I agree. I have LSU winning by about the same margin. I think 30-20, something like that. If it comes down to the end, Mississippi State has only tried 1 field goal so far this season and missed it. So the Tigers certainly have the edge on special teams. Definitely something, again, to watch for. Should be a great first SEC game. Randy, thanks a lot.
No problem. Anytime, Rachel.
And enjoy the game, everyone. Have a great weekend.